as young African men, we tend not to want to take the responsibility for the pregnancy that occurs. We somehow think that we separate us being in bed with the person from the person getting pregnant, and so she got pregnant.
Well, it's a real interesting thing that people don't really talk about, when they talk about men that are not in the household supporting their children and the monies that are collected on behalf of the children by the welfare system.
When we deal with brothers that may be caught up in the system behind pregnancy out of wedlock, usually that's not the only thing that those brothers are caught up in the system or hung up in the system with. And one of the challenges is oftentimes even before they have gotten a young lady pregnant out of wedlock, the brother may have some other issues in his background. He might even have a strike on his record or 2 strikes on his record. And now he's got this thing where he was with this woman, whether he was in love with her or not, they have a baby, and now all of a sudden he's caught up in the system.
It's like your worst nightmare. You don't really know how bad it is until you get involved in it. I got involved in the system kind of early because, of a crazy situation. Like when you get caught up in the system, it cripples you. It cripples you from doing exactly what you want to do. You can't move the way you want to move because you're in the system now. It's not like jail, but at the same time, it's a system that you don't want to be caught up in.
And that system can get him stuck where he can't get a job, he can't hold a job because he may see 20% of his wages after the welfare system goes in and grabs what they want from that. Whether the man is working or not, they calculate what he should be paying and contributing to the household. And by the time the child is 18 years old, sometimes a man can owe $50,000 in back child payments.
My oldest son's father, he was in arrears, and he was still paying on his arrears, and my son was in his 40s, still paying on his arrears. And then he asked me one time, he said, "Can't you call?" I said, "I don't have anything to do with that. I don't even know why you still paying." But once you're into that system don't let you go.
And young black men see this situation over and over again and hear the complaints of other men and how the system hasn't treated them fairly and how they haven't been represented properly and how women go out and trap men and have babies and it's not fair. And so a young woman gets pregnant by a young man and she's gonna get faced with all these different decisions to be made.
My daughter's mom got on child support. And she got on child support, and obviously I was a father, so I had to pay that child support back. And at that particular time, I didn't have a job, but it kept on adding up. I got my license suspended. I couldn't find a job driving. Immediately I had to pay child support. It was just a crazy situation that really held me back from doing what I really wanted to do in life.
And so he's in a situation where he's in a society that doesn't really validate him as being a man in the first place.
It puts you in a place to where you got to do things to get money, instead of working a job because they're taking so much money out of your check, you know what I mean? Then you feel obligated to take care of your business, so you might get into doing other stuff like selling drugs or robbing people or just some crazy stuff that you don't want to be involved in.
It's a very tough situation for a lot of men who fathered children by different women and those women were on welfare. It has drove them out of being able to work. And it just impacts everything. So much of their check is being taken away from them that they're not even making a livable wage anymore. So it's kind of a vicious cycle.
And they go to the next thing, and that's selling drugs. Out there acting crazy, killing up each other because they got so much anger. Our black men are angry, and our prisons are filled with our black men, and their lives are destroyed.
We have to be able to talk to our young brothers frankly. And this is the importance of having mentors, fatherly mentors, even if it ain't your biological father. One of the things that my father was real clear with my brother and I about is, I ain't taking care of no babies. But guess what? If you get a girl pregnant, you gonna take care of that baby. Whether you married or not, you will take care of that baby. And there is something to be said about having that kind of demand on your life.
We don't know why someone would make which oftentimes, not all, but oftentimes is a detrimental life choice.
I'm from Richmond, California. I grew up in Crescent Park by Booker T. And, I started messing with girls like, I was about 14. That's when I started getting sexually active. It was fun and, it was all fine and dandy. I was the man at school, but it all changed when I got somebody pregnant. When I found out my girl was pregnant, it was like a sense of joy, but at the same time I was kind of selfish because I was thinking about myself, like, I'm too young, or, I can't, I want to do this and I still want to do this and do that, and the kid is going, it's going to mess up with everything I got going on.
When you have someone 16, 17 years old, are really not equipped to take care of themselves, let alone think through what's required to take care of another life that you help bring into the world.
Every now and then a brother wakes up and says, you know what? I have to be a daddy to my kids. And being a daddy to my kids is not only about the financial support that I have to give, but it's about that moral obligation I have to be a father. For every brother that the light goes on, so many of them fall into the trap of, this is how it is, this is how it's going to be.